Yeah, this is Mike again. You know, when I was a little kid, I used to live in South Phoenix, which those of you who know the Phoenix area know that South Phoenix was the ghetto. And about 10 or so years ago, I used to be big into the hood movies, you know, like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and South Central, films like that. And at about the same time period, I was big into Jeff Foxworthy and his "You Might Be a Redneck If" stuff. So I came up with a test that's kind of like his "You Might Be a Redneck If," but I changed it to "You Might Live in the Ghetto If." And watching these films and recollecting what I seen as a kid living in South Phoenix before I was age 10 or so. This is back before 1990. And came up with this test. I call test referencing to Jeff Foxworthy. I called it "You Might Live in the Ghetto If." Well, if you're the only white neighborhood, if you're the only white person, white family in between two black families, or even a black family on one side and a Mexican family on the other, you might live in the ghetto. If your best friend is a Mexican, you might live in the ghetto. If you go to the school and your school is named Martin Luther King Elementary School, you might live in the ghetto. If the street you live on has a liquor store at the end of the corner, you might live in the ghetto. If you can't sleep at midnight because of the fact that you hear gunshots every night while you're watching TV, and it scares you half to death, even at the age of 5, you might live in the ghetto. If you go to the school to shoot hoops, and the basketball goal has no hoop, it's just a round hole to throw the ball in, you might live in the ghetto. If you're driving by people and their car's bouncing, as in hydraulics, which isn't normal when you're driving around and seeing cars, you might live in the ghetto. If you're driving around and you see artwork everywhere, where you normally wouldn't see artwork, but it's like painting on a wall, you might live in a ghetto. If you see homicides going on and chalk painted on the pavement, you might live in the ghetto.